Chosen one, what if I told you that your DNA is different from the rest of the world? Scientists are starting to discover what spiritual texts have said for centuries. You were designed for something greater. But the truth has been hidden until now. You have felt it your entire life. A sense that you do not belong, that something about you is different, unexplainable. You move through the world like an outsider, watching, observing, sensing things others do not. It's not just your mind playing tricks on you. You were built differently, and now the truth is beginning to emerge. Science is starting to uncover what spiritual wisdom has whispered through the ages. There is something hidden within your very DNA, something powerful, something they never wanted you to discover. They have spent centuries burying this truth, keeping you distracted, convincing you that you are just like everyone else. But you are not. Your existence carries a frequency that disrupts their system. That's why you have always been misunderstood, why people react to you in ways that don't make sense. Some are drawn to you while others lash out for no reason. They can feel it too, even if they don't understand it. Your energy, your presence, your very essence is different. And that difference is what they fear most. Stay with me until the end of this video because there are things you need to hear, things that could change everything. If you feel this message speaking to you, if you have always sensed that you were not like the rest, comment 77 below. You are not alone. Science has long told us that DNA is nothing more than a biological blueprint, a set of instructions that determine eye color, height, or the shape of your face. But that is only the surface. Hidden within the strands of your DNA lies something deeper, something ancient. Researchers have recently discovered what they call junk DNA, sections of genetic code that seem to serve no function, yet make up nearly 98% of human DNA. They dismiss it because they do not understand it. But what if this so-called junk is something far greater? What if it is a code waiting to be unlocked, a message embedded within you from the beginning of time? There have always been whispers of something different within certain people. In every generation, there are those who stand apart, who see the world through a lens others cannot comprehend. They are born into families that never truly understand them, placed in environments where they are meant to be shaped and conditioned like everyone else, yet something within them resists. From a young age, they feel an unshakable pull towards something more, an innate sense that their purpose is greater than what they've been told. They notice patterns others ignore, experience vivid dreams that seem to carry messages, and possess a natural ability to perceive energies, emotions, and even truths that others remain blind to. This is not an accident. It is not a coincidence. It is a sign. Ancient texts have long suggested that certain bloodlines were chosen, that they carried something unique within them. Psalm 139 verse 14 says, "I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." This was never just poetic language. It was a truth buried in scripture, a truth hidden in your very cells. You were designed with precision, with intention, with something that cannot be replicated. The world may treat you as ordinary, may try to place you in the same category as everyone else, but deep inside, you know better. There is something about you that is unexplainable, something that sets you apart, something they cannot define, no matter how much they try to measure, analyze, or dismiss it. Throughout history, those who carried this hidden code within them have been misunderstood, outcast, even persecuted. Their presence alone has disrupted the systems built to keep people asleep. They walk into a room and the energy shifts. They speak, and people either listen in awe or recoil in discomfort. They do not fit neatly into the expectations of society because they were never meant to. Their DNA does not operate on the same frequency as the masses. They are tuned to something higher, something that calls them to break free, to awaken, to step beyond the illusion and remember who they are. And now, as the world enters a time of great awakening, many are starting to activate what has been dormant for generations. But awakening is not without its challenges. The moment you begin to recognize the power within you, the world around you starts to push back. People who once accepted you suddenly feel uneasy in your presence. Friends and family grow distant, unable to comprehend the changes happening inside you. The places that once felt familiar begin to feel foreign, and the things that used to entertain you no longer hold your interest. This is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that your DNA is coming online, that the frequencies you once lived by are shifting, that you are aligning with something far greater than this world. This transformation can feel isolating, even painful. It is like waking up in a world where everyone else is still asleep. You try to explain what you are experiencing, but words fail you. The more you try to fit in, the more exhausted you feel. But this is part of the process. The discomfort, the confusion, the sense of detachment from the old world. It is all proof that something inside you is changing. Just as a butterfly must endure the breaking of its cocoon, you, too, must shed the layers that no longer serve you. The Bible speaks of those who are set apart, those who carry a divine inheritance that cannot be taken from them. In Deuteronomy 14 verse 2, it says, "For you are a people holy to the Lord your God, and the Lord has chosen you to be a people for his treasured possession, out of all the nations that are on the earth." This was never about external status or privilege. It was about an internal transformation, a mark placed upon the soul that cannot be erased. You did not choose this path. It was chosen for you before you ever took your first breath. And now that mark, that signature embedded in your very being, is beginning to reveal itself. The world will try to convince you that you are imagining things, that your experiences are nothing more than coincidences, that your insights are just random thoughts. But deep down, you know better. You have seen the signs. You have felt the undeniable pull toward something more. You have sensed that you are being prepared for something, though you may not fully understand what it is yet. The visions, the synchronicities, the moments of unexplainable knowing. These are not tricks of the mind. They are messages from within, reminders of what has been hidden in your DNA all along. There is a reason the world has spent centuries trying to suppress this knowledge. The moment you recognize who you are, the illusion begins to crumble. The fear-based systems they have built begin to lose their power over you. You stop seeking validation from those who could never understand your journey. You stop conforming to the expectations placed upon you. You stop doubting yourself. And that is when you become unstoppable. That is when you step into the power you were meant to carry. The question is, are you one of them? Have you felt something shifting inside you? Have you experienced moments where time seems to slow down, where you feel a connection to something beyond yourself? Have you had encounters that defy explanation, dreams that feel more real than waking life? Have you noticed how certain people either gravitate toward you or seem to resent you for no reason? If you have, it is not your imagination. It is your DNA activating, preparing you for what is to come. They have tried to keep you asleep, to bury the truth beneath layers of distraction and doubt. But you are waking up now, and there is no going back. Your DNA is not just a biological code. It is a map, a key, a portal to something beyond this world. And the time has come for you to step into it fully. If you feel this happening within you, if you recognize the signs, if you know deep in your soul that you were meant for something greater, comment activate below. Let the world know that you are awake. Let those who are searching for answers find you. Let this be the moment you claim your place in the Great Awakening. Because the ones who are meant to rise will rise, no matter how much they have tried to hold them back. And you, chosen one, are among them. Why do you attract energy shifts? You have noticed it for years, but maybe you never understood why. There's an undeniable pattern that has followed you since childhood. People either feel an immediate connection to you, or they seem uneasy, even resentful, for no apparent reason. Strangers open up to you without hesitation, sharing their deepest fears and stories as if they have known you forever. Others, sometimes without even speaking a word, avoid you, side-eye you, or treat you with an unspoken hostility. It is as if your presence alone stirs something in them. You may have thought at times that it was just bad luck or coincidence, but deep down you have always sensed something more, that there was an unseen force behind it, something beyond what the eyes could perceive. This is not a trick of the mind. It is not random. It is your energy. Your DNA is not just a biological structure, it is an energetic frequency. Every living thing vibrates at a certain frequency, and yours is different, carries a charge, a power that either draws people in or unsettles them to their core. When you enter a room, the atmosphere shifts, even if no one speaks. The spiritually awake, those who operate in truth and higher awareness, recognize something in you immediately. They feel safe around you, almost as if they are remembering something they had long forgotten. It is as if your presence reactivates something in them, like an old song they once knew but haven't heard in years. That's why certain people feel an instant bond with you, why they open their hearts and trust you without needing to know your story. You do not have to say a word. Your spirit communicates with theirs beyond language, beyond logic. But those who live in fear, deception, and darkness, they react in the opposite way. They feel exposed around you, as if something within them is being called out, even if you say nothing at all. They sense that you can see through them, that you are not easily swayed by illusion, and that terrifies them. You represent something they are not ready to face, the truth, and so they resist. They project their discomfort onto you, making you the problem in their minds, when in reality, it is their own fear being reflected back at them. This is why you have always felt resistance in life, why some people seem to take issue with you before you even speak. It was never about you personally, it was about the energy you carry. The Bible has spoken of this dynamic for centuries. In Matthew 5 verse 14, it says, "You are the light of the world." A city on a hill cannot be hidden. That means that no matter how much you try to blend in, no matter how much you attempt to dim yourself, you will always stand out. Your presence alone is enough to disrupt the illusion, to break the spell that keeps others asleep. And because of that, you will always attract both love and opposition. Think back to the moments in your life when you were met with unexplainable hostility. Perhaps it was a teacher who always seemed to single you out, even when you were doing nothing wrong. Maybe it was a coworker who spread rumors about you without cause. A family member who treated you as an outsider, no matter how much you tried to connect. Or maybe it was that unsettling feeling of being watched, of sensing resentment from people you barely interacted with. These experiences were not coincidences. They were confirmations. When you operate at a higher frequency, you disrupt the lower vibrations around you. Imagine a still body of water, perfectly undisturbed, reflecting the world as it is. Now imagine dropping a single stone into it. The ripples expand outward, changing everything in their path. That is what your presence does. It is not something you try to do, it just happens. You cannot help but shift the environment you step into. This is why you have often felt alone, why you have struggled to find people who truly understand you. The truth is, there are fewer people vibrating at your frequency. Many are still trapped in the lower frequencies of fear, doubt, and deception. They see your light not as a comfort, but as a disruption. But those who are ready, those who are awakening, will be drawn to you in ways that defy explanation. They will recognize you, even if they don't fully understand why. In John 1 verse 5, it is written, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." No matter how much resistance you face, no matter how many people try to silence, ignore, or reject you, they cannot put out the light inside of you. You were not meant to be hidden. You were not meant to shrink yourself for the comfort of others. You were meant to shine, to stand tall, to walk in your purpose unapologetically. The real challenge is learning to navigate this reality. It is not easy to be someone who constantly feels misunderstood. It is not easy to live in a world that does not yet fully understand the depth of who you are. The road of a chosen one is often lonely, but it is never without purpose. Every rejection, every moment of being an outcast, every instance of someone resenting you without cause, it is all part of the refining process. It is the fire that purifies gold, the storm that tests the strength of the roots. But this is not a burden. This is your gift. Your energy is a force, a weapon against deception, a beacon for those who are searching. And as you continue to awaken, as you continue to embrace what is within you, you will begin to find others like you. The ones who see you, who recognize your frequency, who do not fear your light but embrace it. These are the ones you were meant to walk with. The question is, will you continue to dim yourself for those who are not ready? Or will you step fully into who you were meant to be? The time of hiding is over. You are no longer meant to shrink for the comfort of those who cannot handle your presence. The world needs you to rise. It needs you to walk boldly in your calling, to shine so that others may find their way. If you have ever felt this, if you have noticed the strange reactions, the energy shifts, the inexplicable push and pull of people in your life, comment magnetic below. Let it be known that you are not imagining things. Let it be a declaration that you are ready to embrace who you truly are. Because this is just the beginning. The more you awaken, the more you will begin to see through the veil. And soon you will realize just how much they have tried to keep hidden from you. There is something they never told you, something they have been keeping from you for generations. The knowledge of who you are, of what you carry, has been suppressed. But now it is coming to the surface, and they are desperate to stop it. Before we go deeper, if you feel this message resonating, consider supporting this channel by hitting the super thanks button below. Your support allows us to continue uncovering these hidden truths for those who are ready to hear them. Now let's continue. Have you ever wondered why history has been rewritten, why entire civilizations have been erased, why ancient wisdom is dismissed as myth? It is because they do not want you to know the truth. They do not want you to realize that you come from a lineage of power, of wisdom, of something beyond this world. They have worked tirelessly to keep you disconnected, to convince you that you are insignificant. From the moment you were born, the world was set up to keep you in a state of forgetting, drowning you in distractions, misdirections, and carefully crafted illusions. They built entire systems around you not to empower you, but to keep you from looking too closely, from asking the right questions, from realizing that everything you need is already within you. They taught you history, but not the real history. They told you where you came from, but never spoke of your true origins. They gave you stories of kings and rulers, wars and empires, but left out the truths that would have freed you. The knowledge that would have awakened you has been hidden in plain sight, buried under layers of deception. Ancient texts were burned, artifacts stolen, entire cultures erased. What remains is only what they want you to see, carefully curated narratives that reinforce their control. They want you to believe that you are nothing more than flesh and blood, that your existence is accidental, that your life is meant to be spent chasing empty pursuits. But the truth has always been there, whispering beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to rise again. There is a reason certain stories repeat across time. The tale of the divine spark within mankind, the legend of those set apart, the prophecy of a great awakening. These are not coincidences. They are remnants of a deeper knowledge, echoes of something too powerful to be completely erased. Even in the Bible, there are clues left behind. In Hosea 4 verse 6, it says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." It is not a lack of power, not a lack of potential, only a lack of knowledge. Because the moment you remember who you are, everything changes. The illusion shatters, the chains break, and that is what they fear most. They have mastered the art of control through ignorance. They use entertainment, social media, meaningless debates, and endless distractions to keep your mind occupied, ensuring that you never have time to question, to explore, to awaken. They know that the easiest way to control a person is not through force, but through manipulation. If they can shape what you believe, they never have to fight you, you will fight yourself. You will police your own thoughts, dismissing your own intuition, doubting your own power. And so, they flood your mind with noise, filling every waking moment with distractions that keep you from turning inward. Have you ever noticed how society rewards conformity? How those who follow the rules, who never question, who accept everything at face value, are the ones who are praised. Meanwhile, the ones who challenge the narrative, who think for themselves, who refuse to be controlled, are labeled as dangerous, rebellious, even insane. This is not by accident. They do not fear those who follow. They fear those who wake up. Because once you wake up, you can no longer be controlled. Once you see the illusion, you can never unsee it. You were never meant to live in fear. You were never meant to struggle under systems designed to drain your energy, to keep you in cycles of survival rather than creation. But they need you in that state. They need you tired, anxious, distracted. Because a tired mind does not question. A distracted mind does not search for truth. And a fearful heart does not step into its own power. That is why they attack from every angle. They keep you focused on material success, chasing after money, status, validation. They create division, keeping people fighting each other rather than questioning the real enemy. They convince you that your worth is tied to external things, so that you never realize that your true power comes from within. But that control is slipping. More and more chosen ones are starting to remember. They are piecing together the fragments of truth, seeing through the deception. The patterns are becoming clear. The lies are unraveling. And as more awaken, the system grows weaker. This is why the world feels so chaotic right now. It is not because things are falling apart. It is because the old structures cannot survive the truth. The light is exposing everything that was hidden in darkness. And those who have built their power on deception are scrambling, desperate to hold on. This is why you have always felt like an outsider. This is why you have faced resistance, why the world has seemed designed to push against you at every turn. It was never because you were weak. It was because they knew who you were before you did. They saw the light in you before you recognized it yourself. They have spent years trying to break you, to make you doubt yourself, to keep you distracted long enough that you never step into your true identity. Because once you do, there is no force on this earth that can stop you. This is not just about knowledge. This is about remembrance. This is about breaking free from the illusions that have kept you trapped. This is about reclaiming what has always been yours, the wisdom of your ancestors, the power within your blood, the truth that was written into your very soul. And that truth is rising now, stronger than ever. The ones who have spent centuries hiding it are afraid, because they know their time is running out. The awakening is here, and they cannot stop it. If you are seeing through the lies, if you are feeling the pull to something greater, if you know deep in your soul that you are meant for more than what this world has shown you, comment awaken below. Let it be known that you are no longer asleep. Let it be a declaration that you are stepping into your power, that you are remembering who you are. Because once you awaken, there is no going back. But there is something you must understand. Waking up is only the first step. There is more they have tried to keep from you, more they have worked desperately to hide. And if you are ready, we are going to uncover it together. The truth is deeper than you think. And what comes next will change everything. The next phase of spiritual evolution. You have felt the shifts. The world around you is no longer the same. The things that once held your attention now seem empty, lifeless. The conversations that once entertained you feel shallow. Your mind no longer clings to distractions the way it used to. It is as if something inside you has been rewired, as if an unseen force is pulling you in a new direction. And yet, you cannot explain it to those around you. They look at you the same, speak to you the same, continue in the same patterns. But something within you knows you have stepped into unfamiliar territory. It is unsettling, but at the same time, it is liberating. Your thoughts are becoming clearer. The constant mental fog that once weighed you down is lifting, and you are seeing through the illusions more easily. You recognize the falsehoods in conversations, the empty motives behind words, the hidden meanings behind actions. Your intuition has become sharper, guiding you like an internal compass, warning you of deceit before it even reaches you. Have you noticed how, more than ever, you just know things? You sense when people are lying, even when their words sound convincing. You feel an energy shift before an event happens. You experience déjà vu more frequently, as if time itself is revealing hidden patterns. Time no longer feels the way it once did. The days seem to move faster, yet at the same time, you experience moments of complete stillness, as if everything around you has slowed. You may have noticed that your dreams have become more vivid, more symbolic. Perhaps you have even encountered messages in them, symbols that seem to hold meaning beyond this physical world. This is not your imagination. These are the signs that your DNA is changing. Your energy is rising to match a frequency that has been hidden from you for most of your life, but now it is activating. What is happening is not just personal, it is global. The frequency of the world is rising, and those who are awake are rising with it. Have you noticed how much the world has changed in just a few short years? How truths that were once ridiculed are now being spoken openly. How people are beginning to question what they were once told was absolute. This is the effect of a shift in consciousness. The collective vibration of humanity is evolving, and you, as a chosen one, are at the forefront of this evolution. But not everyone will embrace it. Some will resist, clinging desperately to the old ways, refusing to see. They will label the awakened as foolish, lost, or even dangerous. They will fight to preserve their illusions because the truth threatens everything they have built their lives upon. You have seen it already. People who become aggressive when faced with facts they do not want to acknowledge. Those who react with anger when the deception they trust is exposed. These people are not your enemies. They are simply trapped, caught in the final grasp of a system that is crumbling. The Bible speaks of this moment, the time of great separation. In Revelation 22 verse 12, it says, "Behold, I am coming quickly, and my reward is with me, to give to everyone according to his work." This is a call to awaken, to recognize that the choices made now will determine what comes next. The awakened will move forward, stepping into their true purpose, their divine inheritance. But those who remain blind will fall deeper into illusion, unable to break free because they have chosen to hold onto the chains themselves. The signs of this separation are already clear. You may have noticed how people in your life have begun to drift away. Friends who once seemed close now feel distant. Family members who once understood you now question everything you say. It is painful, but it is necessary. You are no longer operating on the same frequency as before, and those who are not ready to evolve will either resist you or remove themselves from your path. This is a test of faith, a test of endurance, a test of will. It is easy to fall into doubt when you are surrounded by people who refuse to see what you see. It is tempting to dim your light just to make others feel comfortable. But you were not meant to shrink. You were meant to rise. If you feel this transformation happening within you, if you have noticed the shifts, if you know deep in your soul that you are changing in ways you cannot fully explain, comment evolve below. Let it be a declaration, a mark of your awakening. Let it be known that you are stepping into something greater. But knowing all of this is not enough. There is something you must do, something they do not want you to realize. You have everything you need within you, every answer, every truth, every ounce of strength you have ever sought. It has been there all along, waiting for you to recognize it. But they have spent generations trying to convince you otherwise. They have built entire systems designed to make you question yourself, to make you believe that you are incomplete, unworthy, incapable of standing on your own. They told you that you needed their validation to be accepted, their institutions to be educated, their approval to be successful. They conditioned you to seek outside of yourself, to rely on them for direction, for understanding, for a sense of purpose. But the moment you step into your true nature, the moment you fully embrace who you were meant to be, their control over you vanishes. For too long, you have been trained to doubt your own power. You have been taught to silence your intuition, to suppress your gifts, to blend in when you were never meant to. Every time you felt something deeper stirring inside of you, they told you it was just your imagination. Every time you questioned the world around you, they laughed and called you crazy. Every time you spoke the truth, they tried to make you feel small, to make you doubt yourself, to make you fall back in line. But their greatest mistake was underestimating the strength of your spirit. Because now you are seeing through the illusion. Now you are remembering who you are. The shift happening in you is no accident. It is not a phase, not a fleeting moment of inspiration. It is your awakening, and once it begins, there is no going back. The old ways of living no longer fit. The need for external validation no longer holds power over you. The fear that once kept you in place is breaking apart, piece by piece. You are standing at the threshold of something greater, something beyond what this world has taught you to believe is possible. But to fully step into it, you must let go of everything that is no longer in alignment with you. You must stop doubting yourself. Every hesitation, every moment of second-guessing, every time you shrink yourself to make others comfortable, it must end now. You were not meant to seek permission. You were not meant to wait for the perfect moment. The world is shifting, and you were meant to lead. Not through force, not through ego, but through the undeniable presence of your awakened spirit. Your mere existence disrupts the deception of this world. Your energy alone is a force that cannot be ignored. And that is why they have worked so hard to keep you in fear, because they know that once you realize your own power, you will become unstoppable. If this message spoke to you, share it. There are others like you searching for this truth. Be the one who helps them find it. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a message meant for you. You are waking up, and nothing will ever be the same again.